We are in December, so you know what that means. The transfer window is right around the corner, however you don't feel too much hype about it. There's only a few big moves making the headlines, and the reports just keep resurfacing about pretty much the same transfer moves. Neymar to Barcelona back, Kylian Mbappe to Real Madrid, David Alaba getting out of Bayern Munich, Cristiano Ronaldo's existent/non-existent move out of Juventus, and that's it. It almost feels like there is no real movement in the said window, and it's understandable that there is not too much traffic between clubs. It has been a bad financial year for everyone, really. Clubs have felt the serious consequences of the pandemic so far, as most had to lower the wages of some players, decrease the costs by any means necessary, furloughing the staff and players, and furloughing Mesut Ozil and the Gunnosaurus if you are an Arsenal fan, nothing related. However, there is only a few clubs where finances have been so damaged, more than Barcelona. If you look around Europe's top leagues, probably Schalke and 04 in Germany are the ones who are in deeper crisis than Barcelona, because they had to terminate some players' contracts and let go of a lot of members of their staff actually. Barcelona didn't exactly do that, but they are in a race against the clock to convince the players via their agents and advocates to lower the wages of the players and help get through the crisis, or else the club will declare bankruptcy in January. But that is a whole different problem on its own. There is another problem that is waiting in the wings, a potential disaster, I would say, which is a possible exit for Lionel Messi on a free transfer, maybe in January. Let that sink in for a second. A guy that was nurtured by Barcelona and had all of his success at Barcelona, nothing really at Argentina, but all of his success at Barcelona, brought them 31 trophies, the poster boy pretty much for the tiki-taka era, playing for 15 years, is going to leave the club in January on a free potentially. And if you followed the saga that was Messi's altercations with the board, with the resigned board now of Bartomeu, who was its chairman, you will know that exit was really close, like hours close. We were talking like potential moves with likes of Juventus, Man City and PSG salivating over and giving different offers. We're talking Juventus and Adidas, their sponsors, were probably chipping in and paying the huge sum of money that Barcelona demanded. We're talking about Man City offering 200 million euros plus 3 players of their best, really, in Bernardo Silva, Gabriel Jesus, and the potential of Eric Garcia. And PSG were trying to lure, Messi over to join his former friend Neymar. At a certain point, it seemed like a legal battle was going to ensue between Messi and the board, before the latter insisted that any club coming for Lionel Messi should pay the unbelievable release clause of 700 million euros, which is not the highest in the world, if you believe it. That belongs to Real Madrid's Karim Benzema with 1 billion euros, believe that. Messi's not even the second, it's the 5th highest release clause in football. You couple that legal complications of the situation, it's a legal mess, by the way. Like, Barcelona insisted that Messi's not going to leave Barcelona for free. He's only leaving for 700 million euros, which no team can pay in normal situation, let alone in the pandemic situation. Couple that with, the stick and carrot kind of technique from Barcelona, promising Messi that the board is going to resign and there'll be early elections held if he stays at Barcelona, the backlash from Catalonia, the incapability of teams and most clubs to pay the sums that Messi's demanding, not just the transfer fee but also wages, and Messi was inclined, to stay at Barcelona. Of course, he spilled the beans later on in an interview with Goal, where he lambasted the board for basically sabotaging him to stay at the club, how his relationship deteriorated with the board. He said that he felt bad at the club and as Barcelona as a city pretty much. You add to that an accumulative frustration with the board of the club since Neymar left Barcelona in 2017 in a move that is now infamous. Almost everybody knows the punchline by now. Barca went in to buy Marco Verratti from PSG and ended up losing Neymar and getting nothing in return, in a deal that was so infamous that PK was so sure it wasn't happening, he tweeted a famous meme of a tweet now, with a pic for him alongside Neymar saying that his will be staying, only here for him to leave Barcelona for PSG like 24 hours later. The idea of Messi leaving isn't something conceivable for Barcelona fans, but now it is closer than ever, it seems, and after that whole saga in the summer settled down with Messi again, quote-unquote, inclined, question mark, once again, to stay at the club, as Bartomeu and his board resigned prematurely. But anybody who watches Barcelona knows that Messi is not himself anymore. He doesn't have the same joy. He doesn't have the same guile. Age is getting to him. As much as he is superhuman sometimes, age gets to everyone, and 34 years of age is an old age for a football player. And couple that with his last last pal in the club, last friend, Luis Suarez, leaving in an incomprehensive way to Atletico Madrid. This has to be Barcelona's most disastrous business move ever, in or out of the club if it happens. If Messi leaves the club, after all his service for the club, the legacy that he left, it will probably be the worst business piece ever done by any club in the history of football. We're not talking there about an average player. We're not talking about a young player, 19-year-old with potential, leaving the club. We're talking GOAT status of a player spending a decade and a half where he is the highest paid player in the world, potentially leaving a club for free. It sucks on so many levels, and it will most certainly tarnishes the legacy of both Barcelona and Lionel Messi, regardless of where he's going, regardless of where he ends up. This deal goes through and becomes a reality. This is a blow to Messi's legacy, to Barcelona's legacy, to Barcelona as a club, and to the city of Catalonia that grow accustomed to Messi being its poster boy for the last 15 years or so.